Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is September 22nd. Right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see Washington, Oregon here. You see our very moist, stable ridge of high pressure. It's going to be moving over Washington, Oregon. But in the meantime, lots of rain has been falling across British Columbia, and there's more to come. There's also some active weather coming for us here as we go on in through the midweek period. And we're going to get a couple frontal systems here across the region. So we're going to go over those in some detail. Some of that activity could be blustery and gusty for some areas. Some of the models have been showing a fairly strong low pressure system diving into western British Columbia. We'll take a look at that here as we go through the video this morning. This is the 7-day outlook here for the inland northwest, Spokane, Washington National Weather Service, always with good graphics on a daily basis. Check it out as we go through Wednesday. That's that first frontal system here, and then we're going to be watching for the next one after that. I'll show you that in the weather models here in a moment. Happy fall equinox. This is from Pendleton National Weather Service. So basically, for today, this time of year, we're really getting equal amounts of sunshine across much of the planet. Almost 12 hours of sun and 12 hours of darkness. And you can see it is now okay to display your Halloween decorations. Kind of a joke here. Don't put out your Christmas stuff just yet unless you left your lights on your house year round. But yeah, pumpkin spice lattes are definitely game. So taking a look at Seattle yesterday, 70 degrees, nice day out there, right about average for this time of year. No precipitation in the bucket, but we have some more to come, and I'll show you that here more in a moment. So I selected this one, right, Tofino here on Vancouver Island, this weather station. I like to select some of these very remote stations sometimes, and you can see it is actually right now, it is raining moderately, and that's gone up a couple of clicks since I last selected. You can see the winds updating here every few seconds, and this weather station highly recommended. So if you want to get one of these attached to your place of residence, you want one of these at your house, this is the station to get. Now take a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. Here's Washington State. Look at the ridge building, the moist flow. It's going to be coming up over us today, and it's going to allow us to warm up here for a few days. But then we've got the Gulf of Alaska trough. It's going to throw a frontal system through the region here as we go through the day Wednesday. More on that here as we go. And then look at this potential stronger storm somewhere near the north tip of Vancouver Island going into western British Columbia. Could bring some breezy conditions with it, especially in the vicinity of that low pressure system. And then this is the end of the European model run here with the troughing right over western British Columbia. Pretty good model agreement between the GFS and the European in that about 144-hour period. So taking a closer look now, this is the ensemble mean. This is all 50 of the European ensemble members averaged together. And this is the European ensemble mean from yesterday morning. So let's see if we what kind of changes we're dealing with. Good agreement here between the model runs at the ridge building. You can see the frontal system actually getting in a little bit quicker here as we go on in towards Wednesday, but you can see the general trough position has still been fairly consistent here, let's call it, with the European model. And then the secondary stronger system yesterday had this a little bit more of a powerful trough here across western British Columbia as we go out through this Thursday night time period here. But I'll show you more on that here in a moment with the low pressure system. But that would be the stronger storm, and this would be bringing another frontal system across a lot of the region as well. Now, take a look at the European simulated infrared satellite imagery. So as we go through the day today, again, great lenticular cloud viewing across some of the higher terrain, very moist, stable atmospheric river all the way up into British Columbia. And you can see our frontal system hanging out there as we go through Tuesday. This Tuesday afternoon, the front is off the coastline here. So pretty warm day coming up for Tuesday. Then the front starts to swing through on the day Wednesday. You can see the cold air cumulus behind that all the way across the Gulf of Alaska, swinging through the region. And then last night's European model had a little tightly wound low moving right into Vancouver Island. This would bring some blustery conditions across a lot of the region, especially again in the vicinity of that low, and then some cold air aloft comes flying in behind that. So taking a look at the precipitable water one more time here, atmospheric river activity in the very moist atmosphere over the top today, again for the lenticular cloud show if you're into that thing. And then you can see the frontal system Wednesday, and then the stronger storm here on last night's run, a little bit further north, but casting a fairly robust frontal system for this time of year across the Pacific Northwest. Now, if we take a closer look at mean sea level pressure, this is last night's European model run yet again. So here comes Wednesday's system here. This one might just be a little bit blustery, not too big of a deal. It's that secondary storm there that we've been watching right in towards Haida Gwaii with a 970, 973 millibar low burrowing in. You can see these tightly packed pressure gradients, but they do weaken by the time they get down towards southwest BC and western Washington. So you might just get a pressurized, blustery day as we go on into what would that be probably on the day later here Thursday as that frontal system swings through, and then we go through Friday morning there, and you can see the pressure rise behind that system as we go on towards the weekend. So looking at Portland, look at this for Monday and Tuesday. 91 on Tuesday on the National Blended Models, and then the rapid cool down with that frontal system coming in there. Some of the models are showing some ridge rebuilding as we go through early October. We're not going to pay too much attention to that yet, but just a reminder, we still can warm up a little bit at this time of year. And you can clearly see this as we go through Tuesday. This is downright a heat wave here for a late September, no doubt. And if we look at CTAC, I mean, check it out. Look at tomorrow, Monday here, and then we go through Tuesday coming up. Yeah, some warm temperatures. Then the frontal systems start to swing through. Spokane, 85 degrees, still warming up this time of year. And then we're going to cool things down as we get towards Thursday. Now, looking at Seattle, Tacoma, these did trend upwards a bit. You can see the 1-2 punch here with these frontal systems rolling through. And don't pay too much attention as we go off into the extended. That's looking a little bit too far out. But we are going to get some wet weather here as we go on in through Wednesday and towards the end of the week. This is for Quileute. You see that as well, that 1-2 punch here. And again, this is probably going to be in flux over the next couple of days as we try to pinpoint some of these precipitation amounts. This is Tillamook down the Oregon coastline. You can see that frontal system bringing some precipitation all the way down there. The control run's been showing up over a half an inch with that 1-2 punch here, and the mean somewhere down towards a quarter to about 4/10. Now, I brought this up for Seattle. I zoomed it in. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see it here on a phone or whatnot, but you can see that some of these ensemble members last night had some pretty gusty winds. I mean, some of these were up over 50 or even 60 miles per hour, but you kind of discard those individual ensemble members. To start sounding the alarm, you need much better agreement on strong winds throughout the ensemble members. You can see the control run gusting around 30 miles per hour. That's just blustery conditions, might be blowing leaves off of trees and stuff like that. But we will be watching just to see if that low pressure system does end up trending a little bit further south. It's unlikely. It's that time of year where we start getting these fall frontal systems, but they're usually not, gusting 50 miles per hour because we got a lot of leaves on trees. That would be a big deal. But we will be watching it since some of those ensemble members do kind of hint at some stronger winds. And this is Quileute. As we go on in through Thursday here, you can see some gustier winds showing up. Even the control had about 45 miles per hour. So that could be kind of problematic at this time of year. Now, if we look at Hoquiam, 36 miles per hour on the control run here, and some blustery winds with that secondary system also. And if I show you what last night's European model, remember it had that pretty strong low moving into Vancouver Island. So we go through the day Tuesday, there's Wednesday, just some blustery conditions across the region, a little bit more windy here, eastern portions. And then you see that strong low pressure system could bring some blustery winds here with it, kind of a pretty sharp wind gradient, if you would, here. At least the cutoff between the stronger winds and the weaker winds off to the south and east. As you can see, Seattle on the control run here, it's only showing, 28 miles per hour or so, but blustery winds and some very strong winds into Vancouver Island with that low pressure system. So here's the 6 to 10 day. We still got the near normal here. I guess this is after the frontal system, so kind of makes sense. We got the below normal signal here across a lot of the west. And check that out as we go through October 1st. Frontal systems moving through and that post-frontal cooler air coming across the region. And you can see fire potential. We are wrapping things up as we go. But I know there are some fires active, or at least one across southwest Oregon was still producing smoke on the high-resolution model. Some of that drifting down the coastline towards California. And if you guys want to help support the channel, some of the gear on here is not bad. I wear it all the time. I'm actually wearing the Dust Devil Chaser t-shirt one here today. My son wears these all the time. It's actually the only shirt that he wears is these moisture wicking ones. And the men and the women's premium hoodies are quite nice as well. I haven't checked out a lot of the other gear, but those have been lasting. So anyway, I'm going to go out lenticular cloud hunting today. Hopefully you guys get a view of the mountains and maybe it'll put on a show for us. We'll continue to watch those storm systems. It's that time of year. We're headed towards fall and these start to pack a bit more of a punch and start to bring some precipitation so we can stop watering the gardens out there as well. And then we get the fall transition colors across the area as well. So, anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.